Hello, and welcome to another episode of Exploring the Pipe Organ. So with our last two episodes, we have effectively covered the two main kinds of pipes that are in a pipe organ. You have flute pipes, which work like a recorder, and you have reed pipes, which work basically on the same principle as a clarinet. So today we're going to look at two completely different sets of pipes. They work in the same principle, but they're different from any that we've looked at yet. The first is a flute pipe, which is made out of wood. This is it's called the Holz Gedackt, which just means a wooden flute, and it plays off of the lowest manual. And as you can see, it's made out of wood. The construction is basically the same as with the principal pipe that we looked at in the first episode, but if you look at the top, you can see that it's not open. There's a stopper in it, and that makes it sound an octave lower than its length. So if you were to take just this pipe right here with the stopper out, it would sound an octave higher than it actually sounds. And I'll blow into it so you can hear the pitch that it gives. So it's a lower sound than you'd expect from a pipe that size. And I'll play just a tiny bit right here. It's one of the softest stops on the entire organ, and if you were here at Mass, you'd probably hear this during communion time. I frequently use it then. It's also used to accompany other stops that have a little bit more of a powerful solo sound, and that's what the other stop that we're going to look at is. This is one of the pipes from the oboe rank in the swell division, which is the top manual. And this is another reed pipe. But if you remember what the trumpet looked like, so the trumpet just had a cone for the resonator. This one, you can see the resonator is a little bit more cylindrical on the first part and then a more pronounced cone on the top. And you can see that it's covered. It's not actually stopped all the way. There's a little gap, if you can see. But that affects the tone. So I'll blow into it. Now, when you just hear the pipe up close like that, you might not be able to tell a lot of difference between that and the trumpet stop. But up in the swell division of the Ks, this is actually a very sweet sounding stop, and it does kind of sound like an orchestral oboe. Some of the reed pipes in the organ are more orchestral in tone. They attempt to duplicate what an orchestral reed might sound like. So there's also a clarinet stop on this manual, which we'll look at in a future episode. So I think the oboe sounds a little bit like an oboe. It's one of my favorite stops, and I frequently use the two together, the Gedackt and the oboe, which we'll be doing today on the piece that I'll play, Bach's Ich ruf zu dir, Herr Jesu Christ. I'll accompany the oboe stop, which will have the melody, with the Gedackt. I'll also use the pedals. We haven't talked much about the pedals yet, maybe at all, and I'll do that in a future episode where we'll just focus on the pedals. But just so that you know what stop I'm using a stop very similar to the Gedackt that has really tall wooden pipes that are also stopped, and I'll play you just a little bit of that right now. So it's a very low, very soft pitch, not loud at all. So that gives you an idea of the two stops that we've looked at today, and I will now play a piece utilizing them. Thanks so much, and join us on a future episode. Bye.